Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net. Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay.
Welcome to Gen Exhausted. I'm Chris.
I'm Rich.
And I'm Jess.
And this is the number one song in the country for the second week in a row on the Billboard Hot 100, like the big chart, the one all the kids listen to. So the interesting thing about this is he's done it, at least with the first week, no record label, no radio airplay. Now he's getting a little bit of radio airplay, still has no label yet. And to me, like, Rich, you and I met in radio school. Like, I did a tour in radio for a minute. Like, this is it, right? It's dead. It's radio. See a radio as far as relevance for people getting new music. The fact that this dude who's just putting out videos of him playing his songs on YouTube is the number one song in the country 2 weeks in a row. No radio support, no record label. I mean, you know, should we plan the funeral? It's over. Done. See ya.
Well, what power does radio hold anymore?
Apparently none.
I mean, I'm really trying to think here of all the younger people that I'm around and I work with. Probably people who listen to new R&B, and I literally mean R&B. That's not boomer code word for black music. I mean like R&B. Maybe the two country fans, maybe country radio. Like, I think those are the only two genres where anybody's finding any new artist via the radio anymore. The people that I know personally.
So poor people.
And even then, it's rare. It's not like it's you know what I'm saying? Like it's I've heard of this guy through other means, and this is his radio hit now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's radio. Like, DJs used to be the tastemakers.
Yes.
Like, that's and that led to payola, and, you know, that's a whole nother podcast and a whole nother discussion. But long story short, DJs used to have the carte blanche to pick and choose what they put on the air. Those days are long gone. Then it was the executives and the program directors and stuff who, okay, we're going to decide what goes on the air. Now it doesn't matter who decides what goes on the fucking air, because you're not breaking anything. You're not setting the taste. You're not setting the trends. You're chasing.
Yeah. If anything, now you're adding this song because it's what YouTube's telling you. Like, hey, everyone's listening to this. You should play it.
The mediums that you snickered at for fucking 20 years, and until they started scaring you, then you tried to fucking bury, and then now you're trying to buddy up to. Now they're dictating what your playlist is going to be. Yeah, I mean, that's not even a fucking. I don't know if that's radio dying. That's radio being cucked out. That's radio being told to sit in the fucking cuck chair and film and shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
That's what radio's being like by like I said, by the very mediums that it laughed at and took, you know, basically underestimated.
If you look at who's still listening, I joke with my 19-year-old nephew, radio streaming for old people now. Like, that's the older music is where a lot of the audience is now. Like, and what are they doing? What we're doing? They're just putting on music that they listened to when they were a fucking kid. And every now and then, it's like they're listening to Free Pandora. Every now and then, a few commercials come in, and then it goes right back. You know, why do we need a dude in the middle now telling us what it was? The name's on the screen. The artist and the song you're listening to. You know what you don't hear? You know what you don't hear anymore? Hey, who's this? You just look down and see who it is. Oh, okay. I mean, I could tell the music industry's changed just by how bands release music now. There's no more 2-year album cycles for sure, and there's definitely no more 3-month cycles as far as them releasing a song from an album. Like for example, I'm just going with bands that I know who have come out with music recently. Chili Peppers came out with not 1 but 2 albums last year. And as far as how they were releasing the songs, they putting out one song one week, couple weeks later putting out another song, couple weeks later putting out another song. Metallica just dropped a new album and was doing the same thing. was dropping every like 3 or 4 weeks. It's like, hey, here's another one. Hey, here's another one. Like DJ Khaled and another one. Like that's just how it goes now.
But that's the irony is that we got away from that in the 80s, 90s, and 2000s. But in the 70s, that was AOR, album-oriented rock. That was pretty much how shit was done. And for a minute there, in the early 90s, that's how shit was done also. Because if you remember, after Kurt Cobain killed himself, there were no more videos from Nirvana. So Nirvana off of In Utero had one video for one official single, Heart-Shaped Box. But we know half that albums were radio singles because they were releasing it like you're talking about. Same thing with half the album Vitalogy by Pearl Jam.
Yeah, I do remember that. And Pearl Jam's second album, they did that too. Like half that album was singles as well.
Yeah.
Versus.
So but like that was we're going back to that. So I mean, in that way, it's cyclical. But no, radio is the lowest common denominator. Radio is, if we have a group of people in an environment where customers are going to be walking in, we want to put something on that's bland but relatable to the generation who we want to get in here and spend their money. That's what radio's for. Honestly, like it's talking about the weather with strangers.
Well, I guess now you just do that too with streaming, right? You just find, okay, what's the average age of the people coming in here? All right, blah, you know.
Yeah, but then you get people, I mean, I know people who are in their 20s who are like, man, fuck all them phones, fuck all that streaming shit. And I'm like, seriously? Okay. There are those types where the backlash.
Fuck nonstop music?
Yeah. Fuck technology that provides it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're shocked that the generation raised with a screen shoved up their ass and in their fucking face has finally produced people who are rejecting that? Come on, dude.
I guess not.
You were a musician long enough to know that like once something becomes the norm, here comes the fucking antithesis of it.
It's true.
To shake things up.
Yeah. But wow, like you're spoiled young blood. You don't even know. Like I just laugh at like what we used to carry around in our CD books. Like, like where's the rest of it? Like, yeah, go in a time machine, just hand this little black rectangle. Here you go. I laugh at your CD book. Everything's in here. Oh, all the stuff you're worrying about be out of print, it's in here. It's never out of print's no longer a thing.
Well, if you're listening to this fucking show, you're of this generation. But if you're not of this generation, you're listening to this show and you're a younger person, let me paint a picture of how important CD books were. Everybody in my 20s who I was friends with, who got their car broke into, once the first thing was, has it been recovered yet? The next question was, did they get your CD book?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
They steal your CDs. That was literally the next question. Unless they had like some sort of crazy aftermarket stereo. But then it was like, yo, you advertise, motherfucker. You drive through the neighborhood fucking showing off your shit and somebody was like, hey, you know what? Nice stereo. Let me just fucking snatch that up real quick.
Right.
But the CD booklet was like, oh, yeah. Oh, man, they took my CD booklet. And it's like, oh, did you have the big 4 fucking panel one or the 2 panel ones? 4 panel. Oh, did you put CDs on both sides of them? Yup.
Oh,
CDs, dude.
Yeah.
That conversation. I've had that conversation so many times.
Remember when you
whatever.
Remember when you had the binder? Like the real music heads like me, you had the fucking you rolled around with like a binder.
Yes, dude. Me and my buddy from high school, Ray, were hanging out one night. He drops me off at home. And on the way back home, he's driving on the road and he sees 2 big black fucking things in the middle of the road. Pulls over because you had to know my buddy Ray. He was a little strange. When I say pulls over, it means he stops in the middle of Ford Road in Westland. Gets out, and it's 2 CD binders full of CDs.
Oh, hell yeah.
He gets back in his car, throws them in the passenger seat. He drives back home, gets home, opens them up. Ray doesn't know anything about popular music. When I met Ray had 3 cassettes. Automatic for the People by R.E.M.
All right.
To the Extreme Live by Vanilla Ice.
Ooh, the live version.
I know. I know.
I didn't even know that existed till right now.
Yes, it did. Oh, God. Oh, God. And you'll like this one. Some Beatles greatest hits.
I mean, so like 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
So, I mean, and once Ray and I started hanging out and I introduced him to my music, Ray felt like he became obsessed with Nirvana and Kurt Cobain well before Kurt Cobain ever killed himself. Like, I met Ray a month or 2 after Nevermind came out. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was legit, like, obsessed with him. But, yeah, so that was Ray's musical taste. But, so he opens these binders and he's going through this and he calls me. He's like, so I found these binders with CDs and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, are they copy? Like, are they not copies? Are they playable? Are they, are they destroyed? And he's like, no, they're all playable, blah, blah. They're all, good cases, everything. What are they? He starts listing it off. Dude, it is every classic rock from like the late 60s up until like the early 90s, like modern shit. And this was like 94 when this happened. When he found these 2 binders. And I'm just going, dude, you found somebody's music collection sitting in the middle of Ford Road in Westland.
Hope you can live with you. Hope you can sleep at night.
Well, I mean,
I would have slept like a baby. Like, I just got a bunch of new shit. But,
well, I mean, here's the thing. Ray was the type of guy that was online in 1992. Nobody was online in 92 that I knew except for Ray. And I didn't even completely understand what he was talking about when he said he was online or on the interwebs or whatever. So Ray was like I know for a fact Ray was copying and bootlegging it. So Ray turned a nice little find into a way to make some money for a while. But seriously, like, I'm just looking at that going, oh my God. And I think about it now, and you got to think, those CDs were going for $15-20 a pop at the time. That was probably 100-page CDs, 4 CDs each on one side, CDs on both sides of pages. So 8 per page, 100 pages, 2 books. Do the math. Honestly, I'm like, I bet you it was some sort of DJ or like wedding DJ or party DJ or something. And for some reason, he left them on the roof of his car, and he just got this far down Ford Road before they fell off.
Oh, bummer.
That's what I guarantee happened. But I mean, those 2 CDs, by the way, we between my buddy Ray and I, we split those shits up. Man, when I got divorced, I still had some of the CDs from those fucking binders. Because when you're going through the divorce, divvying up of music, and you're like, no Springsteen leaves this house, you're like, that type of thing. And it's, the ex is like, when the fuck did we buy this? And I'm like, that was before you, bitch. I did have a life before you. You know that, right?
Yeah, I didn't pop out of my mom's womb and then marry you.
Yeah, exactly. But absolutely, man, like fucking, and that wasn't even that, like, dude, what, 15 years ago? It wouldn't have been that weird to see somebody with a fucking CD case in their car.
Yeah. Now I'd be like, how are you playing that?
Yeah. When's the last time you got into a car that was made after 2015 that had a CD player?
Yeah, I was going to say, I think the last time I had a car was like pre-2016. Maybe the truck I had in 2016, I think that was the last thing I had that I think I know had a CD player in it.
That van I had a CD player in it that did not work, and it was a 2014. And I think it was the last year that you had to like pay extra to get a CD player if you wanted one. Like, it didn't just come with a CD player standard anymore.
Yeah, but now, you're a wizard. How are you playing this magical disc? Like, I get it, an auxiliary jack exists, but where would you buy a fucking CD player? Like, I guess we talked about on the Wiesman podcast. I guess CDs are making a comeback with the kids.
Really?
Yeah.
It's because it's old. I mean, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it sounds exactly like the digital music you're listening to now.
Yeah.
It's not like going back to vinyl from CDs and going, wow, there's actually, you can hear a warmth.
Yeah.
Especially when you're in the room with a good fucking turntable and a good system, and people who know what they're doing. You can hear the difference in vinyl and a CD playing the same song, A and B in them next to each other. You can't do it with a fucking It's all digital. What's the point? Besides, it's our parents' generation. Which is kind of shocking because I see a lot more, especially online, rejecting anything that came before them. But in person, it seems to be like the younger people embrace shit that came before them. But online, it seems to be the opposite. I don't know.
From 2020 to 2021, CD sales went up 47.7%, and global sales.
I feel like that's because boomers were stuck at home with all those fucking checks, and they single-handedly gave the fucking the was it Columbia Record Club 12 for a penny one last hurrah.
How much of your music collection did those bitches build? Because BMG and Columbia House, I just went back and forth, and since I was a minor, I never had to pay any of that shit.
Oh, you really figured out how to juke the system. Yeah. No, me, I got twice. I got it once as a kid. And then when the fucking you ain't paying started showing up, my mom started opening mail. I got my ass beat, and that was the end of that. And I did it once as an adult, and I literally went to go fulfill my obligation to fulfill my end of the contract, and was like, I sent my shit in with and was like, okay, so send me my shit and send me the bill. They were like, no, you're good. Your obligation's been fulfilled. I'm like, I haven't bought one fucking album from you. You just gave me the 12 albums for like a penny or whatever it was. Okay. So that was my experience. Yeah. I'm not going to argue with you and be like, no, I haven't bought them yet. Like, fuck that. Okay. It's not going on my credit. And it's never popped up in my credit rating.
But that really helped me sift through what I liked and I didn't like. I mean, there were some turds and there were some awesome ones that I got from that shit. So... And yeah, I did it when I was in middle school, and I did it in high school. And then the whole way, it's time to pay. Well, I'm a minor. See?
Now the more interesting part of what is this guy's name? Homie with the fucking Hebrew hammer, red beard.
Oliver Anthony.
Yeah. Okay, so Anthony Oliver, whatever the fuck his name is. All right, so he's being fucking dragged across fucking internet because it's the internet and whatever. And I've been seeing memes, and basically how the memes they've been making of him work is they watched his video of his song, was it Rich Men North of Richmond?
Yes.
And they screenshotted a part where he's like really fucking singing, and because he's a fucking ginger, he's all red in the face, and they screenshot and they cut that headshot out and they put it on Ridiculous Situations and stuff. And it's like, okay, cool. But then there's this like real vitriolic backlash towards him and blue collar people in general, and it's not coming from the blue blood tut old money crowd. It's coming from the workers' rights. We all need to own the means of production. People need to power to the people, folks. But I guess not power to those people because they're not the right kind of poor people. And apparently it's because if you've actually listened to the song, he makes it a comment about someone being 5'3", 300 pounds and buying fudge rounds on fucking welfare. Yep. And everybody focuses on the fact that he's attacking and punching down these people who are having shit fits and dragging him and trying to humiliate him and searching the internet for anything they can find on him. But what they miss is that in the preceding fucking lines of the song, he's shitting on the politicians who are enabling that shit to happen. But I know, context and nuance, there's no time for that. There's just time to be outraged. A white man is singing something. Get mad.
Yeah, and he spoke out about, they used this on the Republican debate, whatever that was, a couple weeks ago. And, he's not too happy that the right has co-opted it. He's like, they don't even understand, that song's about them.
Yeah, whenever you see someone post something with a guillotine and in reference to politicians, in most cases, if it's fucking like if they are like, I'm going to demonize one side of the political aisle, that right off the bat. I didn't know this guy's politics. I didn't know this guy. I didn't know this guy from anybody until people started making fun of him. This was one of those fucking Streisand effect cases where the people who wanted to shut him up put him directly in my fucking line of sight. I would have never sought a guy like him out. I would have never listened to any music I saw a guy like him make. I would have read the descriptions and been like, not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
That'd have been it. Even if I agreed with the message. Because there's a lot of music out there that I agree with the message, but it sounds like shit, so I'm not going to listen to it. So, yeah, to me, that's the fascinating part in all this, is that here's your working class, guy making music, calling out the haves. And you people, your entire political identity, philosophy, ethos is based around the haves versus the have-nots. But because he's not the right, he doesn't check the right boxes, it's fucking dog pile time.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and isn't he from West Virginia, too?
Yeah, and he's been attacked because, he's trying to come off as this West Virginia coal mine. And he's like, my grandfather was from this small fucking West Virginia coal mine in town. Blah, 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 blah. People dug that shit up. He said this because I saw like a 15-minute, I guess, like super cut of him on Joe Rogan. And he's like, people dug that shit up. And somehow I read online that I claim that I'm from this town. He's like, my grandfather's from that town. I never claimed that as my place of birth. I'm from blah, blah, blah. That's X amount of fucking distance away. And then he went on to say, and then it's just crazy the shit that he's been reading. Like, that he turned down he turned down a check to sing at the Super Bowl. He's like, no one's asked me to sing at the Super Bowl. Why would anyone ask me to sing at the Super Bowl? Who the hell am I? And it's like, he's just immediately, the message of his song, the lyrics of his song does not matter, tossed in the trash, disregarded, because we have to immediately go to mocking him. Mm-hmm. Now, if you remember in the previous iteration of this fucking podcast, of this show, I said multiple times when we were getting near the end, like, I think it's time to stop fucking laughing. Because we're laughing ourselves to fucking death here. We're amusing ourselves to death as a society. We're to the point where someone comes out, puts out a fucking song where he's not taking political sides. I still don't know his politics. How unusual is that? How many artists that were fucking pushed on us through the system would get where he's at and we wouldn't know his political beliefs?
None. Zero.
That's part of your fucking. That's part of your image these days.
I don't.
And if you're not for anything, tell me what you're against. Because it's more important to be against something. Because we're all about positivity, so get negative and stay negative and be against things. Focus on that instead of focusing on what you love.
Yeah, you have to come out against something.
Yeah, it's just interesting because it's just we have laughed our asses off to the point where I don't think that we can have a fucking serious conversation anymore. Like when Trump got elected into office, I remember a whole lot of shit talking and. Like Henry Rollins coming out and saying, this is the moment that fucking Joe Strummer and the Clash trained you for. The young generation, this is your chance to come out. This is your punk rock moment. This is your moment to do what the fucking artists in the 60s did and the punks in the late 70s and early 80s did and all this other shit. What the fuck did we get, dude? What great art has come out of all this fucking hatred?
No, being punk
No, go ahead.
Right,
no, I wanted to answer. Guys, this is not rhetorical. Seriously. What great art is dripping in political fucking ideology that's been great, that's come out post-2015? Seriously think about it, because I am having a hard time. I'll admit my blind spot, hip-hop and R&B. I'm sure that there's a few albums that were fucking very popular that would fit that. But rock, no. Pop, no.
I feel the last decade could have been very fruitful for Rage Against the Machine.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Jess.
I don't think that they have been living up to that.
Well, I think they're old and rich now. They're part of the machine.
They may hate the machine, but they obviously hate each other more. They announced their fucking reunion tour with their fucking $600 nosebleed seats to go see the fucking communist band.
Yeah, remember the band that hates capitalism? Yeah.
Yeah. And then anyone who pointed it out was attacked because, we live in a capitalist hellscape. What else are we supposed to do? I don't know, be the revolutionaries you claim you are and drop out and start your own thing somewhere.
Be consistent, yeah. With your messaging.
But
I mean, you could argue they've been full of bullshit from the beginning because they were on MTV. I mean,
well, that's true too.
Anyway.
But once again, here's someone puts out something. I guess because of the 300-pound line and the pedophiles on islands, which... I don't know what podcast it was. It was one of those fucking YouTube shorts that pop up, and I didn't look up what it was. But a very good point was brought up. They're like, how is that political? Because Jeffrey Epstein was a pedophile, and he owned his own island. Politicians, powerful businessmen, and people in entertainment were known to go there. How is that one political side or the other? That's just a fact he put in the song. But yeah, he was attacked for it.
People are like, why are you bringing up old shit? No, and two, I think this song's like a political Rorschach test. Like, I think if you listen to it, you hear what you want to hear. But again, it can't be like, I also think maybe some of this left-wing hatred might be bullshit because he's been number one for 2 weeks in a row. Like, maybe these are people that like, man, why has this guy got a number one song? I don't like what he's saying. Well, apparently a lot more people do.
Oh, I have no doubt that's happening.
Like, the people who are writing the narrative don't like it. Well, cool. Well, you're on the wrong side of history on this one.
Well, no, there's a lot of shit that the people who write the narrative that's going on, they write the narrative don't like, and so they try to turn it into whatever they can. I mean, you remember that fucking Charlie's Angels movie that Elizabeth Banks directed that came out like 5 years ago?
Yeah.
And how when it was marketed that straight white men, this movie is not for you. And then it comes out, it flops, and literally the same fucking website uses the same fucking picture for a different article that says white men not going to see Charlie's Angels is the reason it flopped. The patriarchy at work. What?
Yeah, you said it's not for us, so we didn't go. Which I would argue, a bunch of chicks running around in bikini tops for 2 hours, that is exactly for straight white men. But who am I? Pardon my boner.
Just saying, do you remember the bitches that they got?
Not in that iteration. But I know in the one when we were younger was Lucy Liu, Cameron Diaz. Who else? I don't know. It was a bunch of, they're here, put on these bikinis and be on a boat for 2 hours.
Not my thing. Never thought any of them. Those three were good looking. Kristen Stewart and two others that I don't recognize.
Ugh. Kristen Stewart.
Kristen Stewart can look attractive when she tries.
Did she close her mouth at any point?
Holy shit. When she dresses down, yeah, you hit the mark, sweetheart. If you're going for fucking homeless fucking refugee fleeing your country, yep, you nailed it. That's exactly what the fuck you look like. So, yeah, and the other two I don't even remember. So there you go. But, once again, we were told it wasn't for us, so So this is women are passive aggressive cunts, even when they're in entertainment. What are you mad at? You should already know. You told me you were fine. You should know it. That means I'm not.
It's changing.
I didn't even know Charlie's Angels had been redone. I was just looking that up.
Apparently, it was so terrible. They were talking about Cocaine Bear was the next movie they'd even let her try to direct. They were like, "Here, this sounds like it'll be a piece of shit. Here you go." And then she did a good job with it. So
yeah, she turned an absurd story into an over-the-top fucking comedy / fucking like what do they call it? Slash stick, where it's like so bloody, it's like over-the-top bloody. It's almost cartoonish and ridiculous. And it's like, yeah, okay, but that wasn't it. She wasn't a happy-go-lucky filmmaker. No, she was all dead serious, fucking blah, blah, blah. Men don't need to be in a movie for it to be successful. Women all go see action movies. Men need to come see women movies. And it's like, men do go see women movies because they get dragged to them. They're called romantic comedies. How many motherfuckers that are straight and male went to go see Barbie on their own?
Not this one.
That film's done over $1 billion.
I would also like to boast I have still never seen The Notebook. I've managed to avoid that piece of shit.
It's not a bad movie.
I just don't know how no one didn't see that ending coming a mile away. Like, I hadn't seen the movie. I just heard about it, and I hadn't heard any plot specifics. And I just took it for granted that was how the movie ended was how the movie was going to end. And I just thought it was like common knowledge. And so I'm talking to people about the movie, and I'm like, yeah, so I watched it finally, and it ended, and I was like, yeah. And oh my God, I was so shocked and heartbroken. You didn't see. That's how that movie was supposed. No one thought that's how that movie was going to end. Just me? Okay. So, yeah, I don't know. It's more fucking like sad. Oh my God. Man pines away and pisses his life away wishing he was with a woman who doesn't want to be with him.
Yeah, sounds like a guy who's wasted his time and his life.
Yeah. And that's romantic as long as they want you to waste your time in life, but they
Why
don't
would
want you
you-
enough to be with. They don't want you enough to be with them.
Why would
Then
you
it's romantic.
waste your time on somebody who doesn't want to be with you? Your time is precious. Don't give it away.
Romantic. You have to be won over, Chris.
Well, it sounds
Well,
like
you have a penis, and that's why you don't understand.
I'm heading for another marriage. Not. Ooh, there you go. There's another 90s cliche for you.
Like,
We all done with Oliver Anthony?
until his next single.
Well, he's got a couple other songs on the chart with. Let me look right now.
Yeah, the funny part is he's like the one that took off the rich men north of Richmond one. He's like, it's not even one that I thought was all that good, or even thought was like possible. I'll release this material and it'll do something. And I'm like, isn't that how it always goes, man? Biggest hit off of fucking Black Sabbath, Paranoid. What is it?
Paranoid.
Do you know how they wrote that song?
In like 10 minutes, probably.
Yep. We need, because of the way albums were back in the day on vinyl, they were like, we need one more song. It needs to be in this fucking time range. It needs to last this long. The duration of it needs to be like this. They were like, right. And they wrote Paranoid. 10 minutes later, recorded it, and they all fucking did a lot of cocaine. That song paid for a lot of cocaine for fucking those guys in Black Sabbath. And they're like, we didn't give a single fuck nor care about that song. We were just like, can we put our record out that we worked on and do give a fuck about now? Good, thank you.
Well, the top 3 songs in the country right now are country songs. Let's see. Oh, he's got a couple of
Well, whatever. I'm not going to sit here and fucking... no career retrospective for fucking Hebrew Hammer. He's got one fucking song in the charts, or at top of the charts, and a couple others on there.
It's in the right spot.
So did Echo and the Bunnymen, dude. Where are they at? Okay,
true.
Come back, get to me in 20 years, and we'll have a career retrospective on this guy.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
There are 13 folds that bring the American flag to the iconic shape of freedom. This summer, Folds of Honor and Budweiser celebrate 13 years of changing military and first responder lives together. Service never stops, and neither will we. So join me in raising a Budweiser to raise funds for Folds of Honor.
Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Budweiser Lager Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Meanwhile, we got politicians freezing the fuck up yet again. Same politician locking the fuck up in public. Ironically, when being asked about running in 2026.
Oh, God.
Mitch McConnell.
Freezing
do you still think any of these people know what they're doing? Are you that dumb still? I'm just wondering, folks, because if you are, I'm morally flexible enough to start making a profit off of your stupidity. Tell me how. You're the types who no, he's 80 years old, froze up twice on the spot with cameras on him. The one thing a politician's supposed to not do. Oh, he's fine.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I think between him and our president, it's never been more clear these guys are mouthpieces, like mouthpieces for lobbyists and PACs.
He's not even a mouthpiece anymore. He can't function.
His mouthpiece, right? He's an eyepiece.
Yeah.
He just stares at you, makes you feel uncomfortable. Are you freezing up or thinking about what you're trying to say, Mitch?
The only hope to keep the average dumbass from realizing just how fucking useless all these people are is to just, you know what? Don't pay attention to how useless our team is. Hate on the other team. Hate them. That's it, dude. Like, I just keep going back to that. Like, how the fuck are you some sort of leader in the Republican Party, and the Republican Party is cool with this shit? If Mitch McConnell is even in office in a week, the Republican Party has no fucking moral ground to stand on whatsoever going after Biden and his incompetence.
I can't disagree with that statement. Like, yeah.
So, we'll come back in a week and see if he's still in fucking office.
Right? Step down, Mitch.
Oh, God. Whatever.
He won't, though. They won't. The powers that be will not let him.
Who are these powers? The Republican Party?
Yeah. Well, just whoever the lobbyists are.
Well, I mean, at this point, who's got their hand up his ass and is using him like a fucking puppet? Because they're siphoning money off of whatever he's getting paid, whatever fucking sweetheart deals he's made behind closed doors with lobbyists that have been grandfathered in and he's still collecting a check off of, these people are getting their cut off of. Those are the people you need to find out who are pulling the strings, because those are the people who are really in charge of him at the moment. I mean, it's really no different than when you see like some poor celebrity and like they're in movies or they're doing like commercials, and you're just like, wow, is your family making you do that? Because Jesus God, dude, you know what I'm saying? Like Bruce Willis running around before he was diagnosed with so severe dementia he can't even talk anymore. All right, but was going around and doing every motherfucking movie where they were willing to cut him a check, and literally had an earpiece in while filming some of these movies, feeding him his lines right before he's supposed to say it. Why? So his family got paid. Let's be honest here. There's probably someone in his family going, "Go to work, Dad." And when it comes to Mitch McConnell, someone's going, "Keep that motherfucker in there, keep the money flowing."
Yeah.
What other reason would be to keep him in there?
I'm looking at his campaign donation.
What other reason it would be to keep him in there? Who takes him seriously as a political fucking threat or ally at this point?
Well, and who would vote for him?
A lot of people. But they wouldn't. I don't think it'd be voting for him. They'd be voting against whoever's running against him.
We got to remember too, he's from Kentucky. He's put in office by people from Kentucky.
Okay, fair.
I mean, I know that we're like supposed to like, you know, but Hunter S. Thompson, you know, Muhammad Ali, these people are from fucking Kentucky. They weren't exactly fucking retarded, and they weren't inbred hillbillies. So, and you know what I'm saying? I highly doubt either of them would have been rabid supporters of the Republican Party. In fact, I think both of them would have rather took something up their own ass than be a rabid supporter of either political party in this country. So, I mean, like, let's stop that, and let's just be honest. He's probably been in there so fucking long, it's name recognition is why he's still in the fucking office.
The top PACs that contributed to his campaign recently involve securities and investment, real estate, health professionals, and lawyers.
So all shady shit.
PACs were almost 7% of his donations. Large individual contributions were the most, and like almost 50%. So who are these large individual?
Is that not something we can look up?
Well, I mean,
Hunt companies.
Here's the deal. If I'm a lobbyist and my marching orders are to walk in with a blank check and get our way with Mr. McConnell, come hell or high water, I'm going to be like, okay, cool. But the minute, like, if that's my job, cool, then my job's going to be to fucking buy him off. Let's just not, you know, just call a spade, tell the truth, shame the devil here. All right? You're a lobbyist. You're in there to legally bribe a politician to do what you want. If I start seeing cracks in his armor, I'm reporting back to my fucking to my fucking bosses. Yo, you need to make sure you install someone else besides fucking old Turtle Boy here, because this motherfucker is going down quicker than a fucking $2 hooker on a Saturday night. That's what's got me scratching my head. How the fuck is he allowed to basically glitch out like this twice in public, and nobody who's fucking got a vested interest in him is like, get that man out of the public eye before he fucks up so bad he fucks with my money? That's what I don't understand.
I mean, perhaps these conversations could be going down. This did happen, today?
Dude, it should have happened, a month and a half ago when it first happened? He should have been taken out of office right then and there. You do that as a general manager of a McDonald's, they're not going to trust you with a Happy Meal. That motherfucker's still fit to be in office?
Allegedly.
No, he's just out here proving everybody's points about not electing old, like ancient politicians, because that's been a big talking point since with Biden now.
Hey,
you know, the thing is that there's a lot of, I don't know why, but the boomers wrestled the fucking the reins of this country away from the generation who had control of them before. Gen X was skipped over, or we just weren't big enough to even bother being considered to handle the reins. And they handed the reins off now to millennials. But yet, how the fuck do we still have all the same politicians that have been there through all these fucking handover of power in our society? Power dynamics in our society, I should say. Like someone like Mitch McConnell's been there since what, the 80s? I know we looked it up one time. like when he was elected in.
Well, this website only goes back to 2000. Now I found Mitch McConnell is part of the leadership, a leadership pack called the Bluegrass Committee, and now going down to like some of their contributors, Associated Builders and Contractors, Pfizer, the American Hospital Association, the NCTA, the Internet and Television Association, the National Stone, Sand, and Gravel Association, National Beer Wholesalers Association, Wine and Spirits Wholesalers of America.
I'm not hearing any small fucking businesses.
Yeah. Boeing.
So please explain to me, small business owners who fucking swing and dick ride from the fucking GOP and the right's nuts, how these are the fucking people who are going to protect you, because it sounds like they're like, yeah, sure, we'll protect you. Meanwhile, they're fucking really protecting the people who are forking over the cash, and, you know, if a little protection trickles down to you, that's fine. But trust me, when the shit hits the fan, there will be no protection from the GOP for you small business owners.
American
Don't
Airlines.
pay them enough.
AT&T, Valero Energy, CSX, the USAA.
This is all blue-collar job creators from flyover country. I don't know why you're reading this list like that. These are all
Microsoft,
salt of the earth, God's people here.
Verizon, Comcast. So all of these companies that I'm listing contribute to this Bluegrass Committee. Humana, Home Depot, United Health Group, MGM Resorts, National Association of Real Estate Investment Trusts, Capital One, CVS Health. Ooh, here you go, Rock Holdings, Walmart, Delta, General Dynamics. Ooh, tanks. I keep going. So he's obviously in the pocket of industry. GE, FedEx, UPS.
This is one of two major political parties in this country. Arguably, still the most powerful country on the planet. If not we ain't the greatest, not even close anymore. But we still the most powerful because we can blow the whole fucking planet up. Don't you forget it. Where's all the fucking American dream shit? Where's anything that's going to help the average American in any of that list you read? And why, as a politician, if a politician is beholden to a list like you read, why would you expect a politician who is bought and paid for by those type of entities to give a fuck about you?
I was on page 6 of 18, by the way.
Wow.
She's on page 18. These are all the $1,000 people. By the way, everybody that I was reading was at least 10 grand and up. Ooh, Johnson & Johnson only giving $1,000. That's why their vaccine got knocked down. MetLife, Ecolab, Meta. Ooh, telling on you, Mark Zuckerberg. You gave $2,500 to a Republican.
Does it show the amount?
Yes.
Nice.
I don't even feel like that's a donation. That's just your anteing up at the fucking table while playing poker. Like, that's just the cost of doing business. You gotta donate the bare minimum at least to everybody's all the political fucking gears that need to be greased. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I see that little, like, Facebook, Zuckerberg, that little of a donation, that to me reeks of hey, look, I'm just here so I don't get fined.
This website is called opensecrets.org.
Oh, well, I'm sure it's a right-wing conspiracy website, Chris.
Cool.
So I highly doubt it's a factual website, Chris. So we can put that away.
Gotcha.
Let's talk about all my pet conspiracy theories. Oh, I'm sorry. Mine aren't conspiracy theories. Mine are facts. Yours are conspiracy theories.
That's discourse in 2023, folks. But, wow.
Well, moving on to the conspiracy theory stuff, are we all done with Mitch McConnell? Are we as done with Mitch McConnell as Mitch McConnell is done with us?
He doesn't know. Sure. We know. That's the difference. We know we're done.
The source of all conspiracy theories, the COVID vaccine. Biden is going to be requesting more funding for a new coronavirus vaccine.
One that works.
This one's going to work. But the other one worked too, guys.
Yeah.
But this one's actually going to work.
Remember, the virus stops with every vaccinated person.
Two dry snitching moments here. By asking for one that works, they inadvertently admitted that the vaccines we've had don't work. Anybody want to guess the second thing they dry snitching themselves with?
What's that?
Well, this is all right-wing conspiracy, dude. Your other podcast host told you so.
Come on, Alex Jones. Tell me.
What?
I really don't know. What's the other dry
Read the
snitching
article. What's the title of the article? It's all a right-wing conspiracy. None of this is real, Chris. Why? Because people who are fully fucking ingrained in left-wing fucking ideology have told me that anything that goes against their ideology is a right-wing conspiracy, Chris. So even this article from NBC is a right-wing conspiracy, Chris. That's my fucking point. NBC is fucking putting an article out with the president going, yeah, we want funding for just vaccinations in perpetuity every year. We're going to make it a seasonal thing. How many fucking years have people been saying that this is the end fucking game for this? That's right-wing conspiracies. Okay. I'm to the point. Either people, you're going to call out people who fucking push this bullshit to your face, or I'm going to fucking devastately, just riddle you and turn you into mist by ridiculing you for not doing so. Since peer pressure works, here comes from the other direction. That's all I can say at this point. Either you're going to fucking tell people, okay, shut the fuck up with your right-wing conspiracy bullshit and everything's a Russian bot nonsense and deal with reality, or sit here and get dragged for the fucking two fucking brain-celled moron you are. That's it. What else is there to argue about as far as this particular subject? Yet what has happened, Chris? What did you say in pre-show? What have you noticed about this article?
I snipped out the quote that he was talking about. We need one that works.
Well, there was that, but you also said, why am I not hearing more about this in the fucking news? How many articles besides the one that I sent you guys have you guys read about fucking Biden asking for this fucking funding for an annual vaccine to be distributed to the American population?
It was like a blip over the weekend.
There you go.
I saw one. I don't remember. I wish I had sent it to you guys, and I meant to. And then I think I got a phone call or something, but didn't. Something popped up about the COVID vaccine, and I clicked it, and it was as reputable of a source as anything else is. And what they said in this article was that COVID is the #1 leading cause of preventable death in the United States. So they are still holding to the fact that the COVID vaccine does anything.
Really? So more than obesity?
Yes.
More than diabetes, or just if you want to fucking, okay, I guess we can cast such a wide net, just obesity, heart disease, smoking, alcoholism. Yeah. I don't buy any of that.
#1 cause of preventable death.
For who? People over 70?
Well, okay, but
no. It would have to be people under 50, right? Preventable?
Well, the whole message behind that is that you can prevent getting COVID or dying from COVID as long as you get the vaccine. Because you can't, the flu, if you die of the flu, you're not dying from a preventable death as long as you're vaccinated, I guess. So I guess maybe I'm given the wrong. What don't we have a vaccine for?
I don't know. I don't get the
flu doesn't kill you. The flu doesn't kill you. You get the flu, it turns into pneumonia, and up until fucking COVID, it was, so-and-so fell sick, turned into a case of pneumonia that claimed them, and blah, 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 blah. That type of shit. That was the wording that was used for that type of. It was never presented as preventable or inevitable or an act of God. So it's interesting that they're adding this qualifier, but also it's like, really? Does it prevent death?
No.
I'm going to treat it like I treat the flu shot. Once I enter the risk group, I'll start getting it. The end. If that's how it's going to be, then that's how I'm going to treat it. So I've got like fucking 11 years before I got to start worrying about the COVID vaccine and the flu shot.
Well, let me ask you this. Would you, with the vaccine we have right now, if you were 60, would you take it?
Probably.
Why?
Because the numbers. Like if you look at the deaths, that's when the risk goes up.
Right, but the vaccine doesn't do anything.
Well, that's not true. That's not true. The vaccine
acts as a mitigator.
Yes, exactly. Thank you. At first they were saying it acts as a prophylactic, blah, blah, blah. No, it's a symptom mitigator.
It was a symptom mitigator. It doesn't do anything for the new variants. It does nothing.
That's why they have new vaccines, within months after a new variant has been announced?
All right, I'll say it first. How do they know?
How do they know what?
How do they know it evades all the vaccines? Maybe they made it.
I mean, I didn't say it, but I'm not gonna fight with you about it.
How'd you know right away? Oh, it is this new variant, and it's only been found in a few places, but we know it evades all previous forms of vaccinations. Oh,
Here's the problem. Okay, and we're seeing it right here, Chris. You're trusting an authority figure and their numbers. Jess, you're not.
Right.
Okay? I can understand why both of you are looking at the situations the way you are, but at the same time, this is the end result of fucking muddying the waters and going, there's no such thing as fucking true north.
Yeah.
Because the same reasons that Chris is like, look at the numbers. I've talked with you enough, Jess. There's no reason to fucking have a knockdown drag out unless you guys think it's going to help the fucking ratings and you do want to get into it that bad. But I know that you can be like, look at the fucking numbers. How many people that got the fucking vaccine got sick? And we were calling it breakthrough cases, and they were fucking balking about that. Now, that's not even controversial to talk about breakthrough cases. There were literally people deplatformed for fucking using that term 2.5, 3 years ago.
I still saw somebody the other day. Maybe it was you, Rich. Maybe it wasn't. Someone had to censor COVID in a meme that they posted on Facebook.
That wasn't me.
They changed the word.
Wow.
It really just it reeks of, this is a fucking cash cow. This is going to scare old people. It's going to scare people with multiple comorbidities and all that shit. Blah 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 blah. High risk, fucking this and that. And it's a way that they're going to fucking. The pharmaceutical corporations have found a way to keep steady money rolling in. Has the vaccine saved somebody's life? Sure, I guess it probably has. Just as like I'm sure that it's fucking probably caused blood clots and cost some people their lives. But one, if I say like I'm fine, and the other, if I say, oh my god, deplatform us, take us off of 15 different streaming sites and shit. I don't even care at this point. Because here's the deal: in 6 months, everything that got us taken off of one site will be cool to go on that site 6 months down the road. How many times have we seen that happen in the last 3 years?
Yeah.
A lot. I mean, Jon Stewart should have been deplatformed, right? He was like, hey, maybe this was come from lab, but he's still on all his platforms.
What do y'all think the success will be if they start making it into a annual shot?
What is the success right now? People are still getting COVID. They're not dying and they're not being incubated, so they're saying that's because of the fucking shot. Well, like this, I want to know the numbers, the percentage of people who were not dying and not being intubated, before the vaccination and post-vaccination. That's what I want to know. Because I knew quite a few people who caught COVID. I've had COVID twice. None of us were hospitalized. One person who is, who I don't even know personally, it's the father of a person I know. He was in the hospital multiple times with COVID-related pneumonia. That's it. But he also has like severe lung fucking disease, and he's like in his late 60s, early 70s.
My mom is 74, has a stent in her heart, beginning stages of kidney failure. She's diabetic. She got COVID. You made it. She's still here. Reminds me I haven't talked to her in a while. I'm a terrible son. But anyway.
Several people who got COVID and had... I mean, I know some people that have all the comorbidities and totally fine. No hospital, no incubation, no nothing.
I believe Mom did what I did. She stopped at the first one. She didn't get any boosters. And she was the last one to get it.
I know a lot of people that feel that way, but they won't say so in public. They'll say so in a one-on-one or, in a group of people that they trust. But I've had the exact same conversation with a lot of people. Oh, you only getting one fucking jab out of me. Fuck you. Fuck your booster. Fuck all this nonsense. Fuck all these variants. Fuck all that shit. And I'm like, I mean, in my mind, I'm like, okay, welcome to the fucking world of, looking around and going, holy shit, that doesn't add up. But to a certain group of people, you might as well be fucking an ant on the ground that they step on, because you fell for it. You're no longer even human in their eyes.
You know what I heard this week? That the drummer of the Offspring who had been with them for 14 years, got kicked out of the band because he wouldn't get the shot.
Oh yeah, there's been quite a few stories like that related to politics and COVID. Well, COVID is intertwined with politics.
Well, like I guess I found out this week, like he was allowed to like kind of wrap it up how he wanted to wrap it up, but Dickie Barrett's no longer on the Jimmy Kimmel show because he didn't want to get the shot. And those guys are like friends. Like being punk rock's not right wing. What the fuck?
It's why I said, why are you people stop trying to cater to people who turned on you because the television and podcasts they listen to and political commentators told them to turn on you. These are not people of high moral or good moral character. These are people that will sell you out in a heartbeat at the fucking at the slight possibility of their life being a little bit easier. There you go.
Like the
I mean, dude, you're kicking people out of bands. You're taking people's livelihood. The guy from fucking Mumford & Sons that got kicked out because he said he read Jordan Peterson's book.
He read a book and he had to go. That's fucking... Dude, that's crazy to me. As an artist, like, really? We're letting that go down? Hey, this guy read a book, had a different idea. Stone him! I'm like, are you shitting me?
You know, there's the movie Half Nelson with Ryan Reynolds, where he plays a crackhead fucking inner city school teacher. And he's fucking one of his coworkers, and the next morning they're sitting there having breakfast, and she's looking at his bookcase. And she's like, you have a lot of books about brown people. And he's like, I got a lot of books about a lot of people. What the fuck's that mean? She's like, yeah, but you got books about the Communist Manifesto. He's like, yeah, so? She's like, so are you a communist? He's like, if I had a copy of Mein Kampf, would you think I'm a Nazi? She's like, maybe. And he just looks at her like she's retarded. And he just goes, yeah, maybe I am. Just being a Nazi ain't cool no more, baby. And that's about the end of their relationship. But the point being, like, you're educators and you're scared of history and reading about it on your own. Doesn't something seem a little off about that?
I mean, obviously.
You know, the dumbest Christians I ever met were the ones that are like, the Bible says we in a war with the devil, so we going to do this. So you're in a war with the devil, so you should probably study the enemy's playbook. You should probably read the Satanic Bible. Well, no, because then I'll be tempted by the devil, and I might go over to the devil's side. Didn't you just say God is all-powerful and everything is possible through him? Yes, everything is possible through God. Yet you can't read a book without the possibility of becoming a devil worshiper because your faith in God is so strong and his love for you is so all-powerful? Grow the fuck up and figure out your own bullshit, the Lord of your own bullshit. It's not my job to figure it out. This is what I'm saying. Like,
Wet Brain, let's say you're the coach of the Detroit Lions, and you happen to stumble upon the playbook of the Green Bay Packers. You're telling me you're not going to read it?
No, because they're heavy on the run game, and I might start to run the ball, and we don't have a running back that we built our offense around. So you're telling me that you're functionally retarded and you don't deserve
Yes.
You probably shouldn't be in the job you're in. Is what you're telling. But these are those same fucking level of brainiacs. These are the same galaxy brain takes that you're going to hear from these fucking cures for cancer that are walking the fucking earth. Don't read this. Don't read this. Don't listen to this music. Don't watch this. Don't watch this. Why? Because it might give you the wrong thoughts. Really?
I mean,
how weak are your own convictions where you think I'm going to read something that's going to make me turn my back on the convictions that I have and you have? You know what I'm saying? Like,
maybe it's a character of our generation, but when you were a teenager and a young adult, being a little subversive was cool, a little edgy, a little hip. Now it's like, no, you're saying the wrong things. You must go along with the group.
Being subversive is being transgender like the other 65% of people in kids in middle school and high school are these days. That's being subversive, Chris. I mean, with us, it was at least put on the flannel. There's your uniform, I guess. With them, it's okay. You ready to chop your dick off? Let's lop them titties off. You don't need those.
The answer's no.
That's totally normal.
Coach Chappelle, me and my penis are like this, son.
Dude, there's been plenty of people from the real punk rock scene, not the bullshit fucking Green Day type nonsense punk rock. I'm talking legit punk rock that have been like, punk rock and the left The left ain't been punk rock in decades now, easily. So, I mean, it's like, as far as, right wing ideology and all that, left wing ideology, I think probably a lot of punks have just gotten so sick of fucking politics, they're just like, fuck everything. Like it's almost like, once again, we've gone full circle back to the punks are just like, burn it all down, anarchy.
Well, remember what was his name? John Lydon, Johnny Rotten, whatever you want to call him, was getting shit for supporting Trump. He's like, he was on the wavelength that Earl was on of, he's like, I like what he stands for. Like, they just burn it all fucking down. Like, and, all of a sudden, Johnny Rotten's a big right winger because, he supported an idea. Yeah. The guy was the guitarist of the Sex Pistols.
Well, lead singer, but yeah.
That's right. Steve Jones was the guitarist. My bad. Oh, Gen X of you.
Hey, my generation. Those were all boomers, like literally baby boomers. Gen X fucking entertainment didn't start till what, late 80s, early 90s? Like I know we've had this conversation on this fucking podcast. I just don't know if we did it on the air or we did it before or after we're recording. But like most of the music that people think of in the 80s. Okay, so did I drop out for that entire conversation?
No.
Okay, because it just said my internet connection was restored.
Oh, we heard it. We heard everything you said.
Okay. Yeah, it was like most of the cock rock was all the boomer shit. Everything else, like everything after cock rock, or pretty much the shit that killed cock rock, was the true Gen Xers making music.
Yeah, but you got to remember too, like the young Gen Xers were in like middle school in the early '80s.
That's what I'm saying. People think the greatest generation are the same generation that invented rock and roll. It's not.
Oh, greatest generation was going, turn that shit down.
Yes, it's the silent generation that's the generation. The generation that fought in Korea, not World War II, are the ones that fucking basically invented rock and roll. I mean, the building blocks were there from previous generations, like anything else, but yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
stealing music from blues musicians, of course. It's the blueprint.
But yeah, I mean, once again, generational cycles repeat. Because the boomers, oh yeah, blah, 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 boomers this, boomers that, and this is all Gen X. And I'm like, that's all boomers. That's not Gen X. Gen X had literally less than 10 years. Like, seriously. Once the teen pop thing started, that was the millennials fucking getting there. You being put in charge of the radio on the trip.
Dicks has ruined it. We're having our little grunge party, and you show up bringing back boy bands. Gee, thanks. I mean, we got Justin Timberlake out of it, I guess.
Don't say that so casually. He's a gift.
I was drunk at a party, and I did call him he's a Renaissance man. He does do it all.
Yes.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net. Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
So what else we have?
Well, we have the Trump Georgia prosecutor wants speedy trials done together.
Yes.
And I have questions.
Yes. I can answer those questions.
Please, yes. So what does that mean? Why would they want a speedy trial?
Because the rules, if you request a speedy trial, is you have to get it, and you have to get it in a certain amount of time. And if you don't get it in a certain amount of time, you are acquitted of the charges against you. Well, she's got this whole pile of people. Right now, it's, I think, what did the article say? I think it's like 6 or 7, like, that want speedy trials, and she wants to do them all at once because her fears with all the, I'm guessing, now this is my conjecture, people, I'm just guessing I'll never get all these speedy trials in, and half these people will get let go. Or maybe that's also, maybe that's also the strategy from the other side is ask for speedy trial, ask for speedy trial, ask for speedy trial. Like, they jam up the system. I mean, I get, if you're a lawyer, half of it's probably chess. So I just think it's interesting she's trying to, like, subvert the process.
So
I also think she looks like Raven Simone. But that's just me.
You are not wrong. So if you request a speedy trial, can you be denied a speedy trial? Like, what's the stipulation here? How does this
I do not know. I believe there's something about there's something in my head that says you have the right to a speedy. Hold on. Right to a speedy. Let's see here. Speedy Trial Act of 1974 defining the Sixth Amendment right. The Speedy Trial Act of 1974 mandates that by 1980, the period of delay in all federal and district courts shall not exceed 100 days, subject to a variety of excludable periods of delay. It's pretty much going, I want my trial within 100 days. I want it within 3 months.
Okay.
And my guess is if the year ends and she doesn't get all these speedy trials in, because it says when the court's term ends. So I don't know. My guess is she probably is looking at the calendar, is like, I can get all these in, let's do them all at once. That is my educated guess on this situation.
Okay. What does it make any? Why did they have to bring Trump into this? Just that's who the prosecutor is?
Well, no, this is his whole Fannie Willis. Yeah, this is the whole case. This is the Georgia case. This is the one with the mugshot.
Okay. See, I thought that we were just talking about this prosecutor had so many speedy trials they had to have done.
No, this is part of the Trump indictment.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Busy week back to school?
Yeah, yes.
So, like I said, I just find it interesting. She's trying to, change the rules of the game that she started.
Interesting. Okay.
And did you see the mugshot?
Okay, I can't stop seeing the mugshot. And once again, the internet is interneting so hard.
Do you think he practiced that? I totally think he did.
Absolutely. Yes. What kills me, okay, so with the internet, first of all, I've seen the beautiful ones, his face outside of a microwave, the little circles, and what my chicken nuggets see at 3:00 in the morning from the microwave. Just so many, it's a gem. It's another one of those, the people playing the music as the Titanic is sinking. That's what the memers are. But I found out something so scary that I don't think I've known, but I didn't believe. And that is there are still people out there. To this day, there are still people out there that believe that everything going on with Trump right now is all part of his plan. And they still believe that. They still think that he is in control, and they still think that he is the president. And this mugshot brought that back to surface, and I was like, oh, wow.
Well, I would tell him, if he's president right now, he's doing a terrible job.
Right, if he's the president right now, yeah, I would like to have him not be. Because what? Literally, people still, he had to go down. He had to set this capstone law so that more people could be prosecuted, and Epstein and children, and drain the swamp, and the military's in control. And I'm like, oh, this isn't satire. I'm reading, skimming this halfway chuckling, and I'm like, oh, you're serious? Oh.
What meds are you on, and can I get some?
Really, though? How do you have that much faith in anything? How are you this hopeful over you? Wow.
I bet they go to church. I'll die on that hill. I bet a lot of these people, you'll catch them in church every Sunday.
They can't have time. They can't have time to go to church. These people also can't have jobs.
But you're asking about, where does the blind faith come from? It's rooted in that type of shit.
Or just the hope that, there's going to be some big white horse event. Trump's going to come riding in, his toupee flapping in the wind.
Don't forget the tie. The tie will be blowing in the wind as well.
Yes. Yeah, well, it'd be untied, but still flapping, to show, the end of a long, hard battle.
Oh, yeah, true. You still have the top button undone.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. MAGA hat in his hand instead of on his head.
Right.
Yeah, and so...
Sleeves rolled up.
Yeah. I saw that, and I really was wow. Just wow. Oh. In other wowing news, California sues school district over parental notification if kid changes their gender ID.
Yes. So this school district in Chino, California, I think we may have even talked about this before. Maybe not. They say if the school district, if their kid has said, hey, I would like you to call me he instead of she, or vice versa, they want to notify the parents just to be like, hey, by the way, your kid has asked us to do this. And California wants none of that, apparently, because why? Like, why? No, this is the fucking state raising your kids. Fuck no. Like, I don't even have kids. I'd be like, who the fuck are you? No, it's my kid.
Let's put this on let's just like simplify this a little bit. They're suing to be able to not have to talk to parents about their kids' sexuality.
Correct.
Does that not sound grooming to you?
What's grooming? Oh, I feel like I sound like Michael Jackson's defense attorney. But I guess, what do you mean? What is grooming in this aspect?
I just mean, like, okay, I want to sue the state in order to have the right to talk to your child behind closed doors about their sexuality. Is it, maybe grooming was the wrong word, but I feel like there's a way it could be applicable here. If nothing else, does it not just give you the ick?
Like, let's say your kid comes to school and is just talking about, I'm going to kill myself, I'm going to kill myself, I'm going to kill myself all day. Do you think the school should not tell the parents? Like, there's something going. I'm just using it as, before everyone thinks I'm conflating the two things, I'm just using it as an example of like, hey, there's a situation going on with your kid. We think you should know about it. Mm-hmm. Does this not fall under that purview? Or am I just a fucking dumbass doing drive-by parenting?
I heard someone, it might have been like Matt Walsh or somebody, that has started calling this part of the transgender movement cultish. And it really does. It seems cultish. Like, imagine sending your kid to school, and it doesn't specify what age, right? I didn't miss that. This is just any age.
Yes.
So your 5-year-old starts declaring that they are no longer a boy, they're a girl, and the teacher is, I'll be your safe space. You can just talk to me about this. You don't have to tell mommy and daddy. Like, what?
That's literally what they told us to watch out for when we were kids. I'm not joking. Go back and watch the 1980s very special episodes of any sitcom where they have a molestation episode, and it's always an adult, and they're always warning you, no, it's not. When if adults, it'll just be our secret. No, that's not good. You don't have secrets with adults that you're, what I'm saying, that especially that aren't family members, et cetera, et cetera. And it does not matter if they're teachers. There can be wolves in sheep's clothing. This is all the shit we were taught. Now we are literally being told the opposite. What we were taught is, no, the opposite is true. When someone wants to have a secret about sex with a child who's in single digits, that's a healthy, at least when they're their teacher, that's a healthy relationship to have.
One of the special interest groups that's involved with this lawsuit is saying it's violating the privacy rights of LGBTQ plus students, and it's a forced outing. Well, if they're telling their fucking teacher to call them that, you don't think the other students are going to know? Hey, the teacher's been calling Billy she, or they. She was calling them he fucking 2 weeks ago. You don't think kids are going to notice that shit? I would argue it's not forced outing. They've already come out. If they brought it up to their teacher, if they brought it up at school, like, hey, call me this, what are you? They're out. The thing you're worried about, they've already conquered. If anything, Rich, at least when we came up, you played that shit close to the vest. You kept it at home.
Yeah, I don't know. I've felt this way for a long time. I think all this coming out bullshit, it's narcissistic type horse shit. Yeah, there's people I guess you need to come out to, family, close friends, shit like that. But this coming out and everybody throwing a party like it's a sweet 16. What the fuck is that?
It's like the Dylan Mulvaney party, the 1 year of girlhood sort of thing that we talked about. That's what it's turned into. It's like you get your own special. You're creating your own special holiday, your own special birthday. You
got the timeline backwards, though. It started with, I'm coming out, and it being this big production and show. Chris, I don't know about you, but 9 times out of 10, I'd be like, yeah, we all knew, dude. I don't know why it's a big deal. You're coming out now. We knew you were gay.
Well, I mean, all the gay guys I knew, at least, they all started out with I'm bisexual, and then it just turned into I'm gay. And by the time it was I'm gay, it was like, yeah, we knew, because like you never hung out with girls.
Well, that's the other thing. Like, there's the progressive one, and it's like, I'm not going to sit here and fucking give you a pat on the back each step.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, guys, I'm not straight. So you're gay? No, I'm just not straight. Oh, okay, cool. Hey, guys, I'm bisexual. All right, yay. We celebrate. We recognize you. We see you. We hear you. You're important. You're valued. Hey, guys, I'm pansexual. Okay, what, you know what I'm saying? Like, just, that's what I'm talking about. That type of horse shit. This is all nonsense.
Yeah. Like, each time, I don't give a shit who you fuck. With each step you make, I still do not care about what you're sticking into or letting what be stuck into where. I don't care. Like, and why do I have to care about it more than you? And why do I have to celebrate it?
You asked the question, Jess, about, how we feel about this. Isn't this grooming? You're a parent. I don't know. How do you feel about it? Isn't it grooming to you?
Yeah, so yes. To me, yes. I feel like teaching kids to keep secrets is that's a grooming behavior. If you teach kids that, like, no, you can have another adult. This can be your safe space. And of course, there's always situations. There's always things. There's always the outlying factor. I'm not talking about the outlying factor. I'm talking about normal kids, normal households, normal parents. Whenever you're teaching them there's just some things that we don't have to be comfortable telling our parents. That's grooming to me, especially whenever it comes to their sexuality. And you said something about the whole, that's the first thing they said to look out for was keeping secrets. And I don't know if it was one of the best pieces of parenting advice I was ever given, but a good piece of parenting advice that I implemented with my kids was, we don't keep secrets. And, you have things like Christmas and surprises. We do surprises. A secret is something that you are keeping private and never telling anybody ever. Surprises are something you keep private for a little while. And they're always a good thing. And that, that's inside of the family. You don't tell kids outside of a family, like, they don't need to tell their parents this, and for them to sue the state over the right to keep secrets with kids? No.
That's true. I mean, when you put it that way, I just think of Michael Jackson. We don't have to tell your parents. This is just between you and me. Yeah, no. Yeah, that's kind of what they're doing.
Yes.
It felt weird telling my brother, because there's 15 years difference between me and my brother. It felt weird telling my brother, hey, look, man, if we have when he was a teenager, if we have a conversation and you tell me something, that's just between us. And I was like, now is he going to think, does that mean I'm trying to, molest him or some shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, it felt weird just being that way with my own flesh and blood. I could never imagine in a million years walking up to a fucking child of single digit talking about, well, if you want to explore your sexuality, I'm a safe person to explore it with and talk to about, and it'll just be our secret. How?
Here's some candy, get in the van. That's how that sentence usually ends.
Exactly. Thank you. Don't we talk about it all the time? Dog whistle. Excuse me. Don't the usual morons, a.k.a. suspects, talk about dog whistle shit all the time? Isn't that a little dog whistly? Or is that just me?
No. I think so.
The more we talk, the more you guys are convincing me. I'm getting on the grooming bandwagon. It's a terrible bandwagon. Oh, it's the worst bandwagon ever.
Yeah, it's not the fun one.
It's bandwagon you want to take a shower after you get off of it.
Bandwagon you get on by mistake.
Yeah. Oh, I'm on the grooming, but god damn it.
Well, this is all part of tactics that are used to tear down the capitalist pigs society and fascist society, patriarchal society, what the fuck ever. Here we are. There is no, There is no truth. There's your truth, aka your reality, but there is no objective truth. There is no objective reality. We are just existing in postmodern hell.
I just keep more and more. George's words. You have a child fetish, and there is something wrong with you. What's that from? Like 2006, 2005? Mm-hmm. And he was talking about how society was like, society cares way too much about fucking kids. Just like everybody else. Few winners, a lot of losers.
See, these are people with fucking ridiculously outlandish political ideologies and beliefs who go to college, they get these fires stoked, they're taught all this fucking Marxist, postmodernist shit. They hate anything traditional, so they hate the traditional family. They're all about tearing this shit down. This is where I'm like, I'm done acting like this shit isn't happening, because it makes a minority of people uncomfortable for them to acknowledge reality. Dude, open any college syllabus and read from the fucking class descriptions, and you'll see that I'm not making this shit up. And I'm tired of fucking, you know what it's like? It's like this country has a family member that they love who's a fucking junkie. And that junkie family member is always lying and stealing from us. But we love that family member so much, you're clean. Yeah, we know you're clean. Yeah, you haven't shot up in weeks. We know. Meanwhile, you can see the needle mark still oozing from their last fucking hot shot. Yeah. We just have to go along with it. Okay. That's all this shit is, man. Stop trying to fucking, do pedophiles come in and go, oh, hey, look, there's a bunch of useful idiots setting it up so I can get close to children and do some fucking ungodly shit to them. Yep. But most of these people, they're not fucking pedophiles. They're not in love with children. They don't want to fuck children. They're more interested in destroying the fucking traditional, quote unquote, nuclear / American family. Sit in on their college lectures. Watch them on YouTube. They'll tell you that flat out.
Yeah.
I mean, I just, how much are we going to let someone sit and piss in our face and tell us, wow, this rain is really it really smells like piss today, doesn't it? Like, no, we wouldn't let our own children live in some fucking fantasy world like that, because we would fucking be terrified they would kill themselves. Just do pure fuckery. Because, I live in fantasy land where whatever I think is reality, no, that's not how the world works.
Right. I'm going to wake up tomorrow and my bank account has $1 million in it because I said so. Go to the bank. Hey, no, I'm supposed to have $1 million. Why? Because I want it.
Why are we fucking looking to California for anything but a cautionary tale of what not to do? This is a state that has multiple cities that are Democratic strongholds. In other words, one-party fucking cities for decades now, who have such a problem with people shitting and pissing on the street. People have made apps that make money off of letting you know what streets to avoid because they're covered with shit and piss in California cities. And you're looking to this state for any type of guidance? The fuck is wrong with you? Grow the fuck up.
Homeless advocates in Los Angeles and San Francisco, I was reading about this the other day. They are saying that, because I was reading an article. Now, the other thing is the state of California is suing a judge to reverse, he stopped a law that was going to be, San Francisco was going to go through and do sweeps, but they were going to, but the catch is when they sweep the people off, they got to offer them a place to live. And the judge stopped this law because they're like, well, you don't have enough houses to do the places to live to do that, so you can't do that. So Newsom's suing to stop that law. But also, I was reading the article, the advocates, their argument is, well, it's all about a housing shortage. That's the reason why these cities have this problem. It's a housing shortage. So you're telling me there's a lot of these people just hanging out and living and pitching tents and defecating on the streets. They got money. They got 9 to 5s. They just can't find a place to live. That's the problem. Come on, man. Come on.
Well, there is working poor because certain places in California have just priced people out of the ability to fucking live in the area. And
people, I guess my point is, like, people who got money and there's no place to live, you know what they're going to go? Well, fucking see you later. I'm moving out of here. I'm going to go. I got enough money to afford a place to live, but it's not apparently here. Like,
that's what's going on in a lot of states. That's what's going on in Texas.
I guess that's the hole I'm poking in the narrative. Like, oh, there's just not enough places to live. I guess someone who's living in a tent under an overpass isn't punching a clock and's got enough money in a bank account ready for a place to live, but just can't find a place to live. Is I guess what I'm getting at. There's deeper things going on.
I mean, I would say more than likely yes, but I also know that it's a reality that more and more people face, like people who do have jobs, right? And then let's say their landlord decides to sell their house that they were renting, and then they can't afford to go get another house.
Okay, there'll be a car like that. There'll be a car that person. I guess, do you understand what I'm getting at?
Yes, I do. I'm just saying that I feel like at this point, I don't know California, man. Like, I don't know how anyone lives out there. But I do think that if things keep going the way that they are going, then that's going to have to be a stereotype that we're going to have to drop, because people really can't afford dwellings to live in.
Like, so the narrative that's being painted by these advocacy organizations, there's some people just out there, they're rolling around with, like, you know, $200,000 in their bank account. They're ready to make down payments on a place to live. They just can't fucking find, you know, that.
$200,000, no, absolutely not.
You know, that's like we just can't find a place to live. So what? I just go to my office job and then I come home to the RV that's parked in RV Row.
Certain fucking parts of California, I absolutely believe that you could have $200,000 in the fucking bank and you can't afford to buy a fucking house in a certain. In San Francisco, I absolutely believe that. LA,
no, but I'm saying no. Just can't find a place. So then you. See, I'm going to Idaho.
Well, what if that's where your career is in San Francisco? What if your career isn't in Idaho?
Which would be kind of ironic, considering isn't San Francisco kind of a tech hub? And hasn't, even before COVID, like, a lot of the push for work from home or remote work was from the tech fucking bunch.
And I'll say it, even in San Francisco, if you got 200 G's in your bank account and you're living outside, you're a dumb motherfucker. You are not resourceful.
No, that I'm gonna agree with. Like, there's a difference between I can't buy a house, I got $200,000 in the bank. Okay, so what are you doing? Well, I'm living in this fucking RV until I can afford to buy a house. Till I find one that I can, you put the $200,000 down. Whatever. Okay, then you're choosing to do that. That's one thing. But if it's seriously so bad, if someone's like, I have $200,000 in the bank, I have a steady job, and I can't get a fucking 1-bedroom or even a studio apartment. If it's seriously that bad, then yeah, dude, I think we need to fucking know. But I'm just going to go out on a limb. I don't think it's fucking that bad yet. Might be that bad before I fucking shuffle off this mortal coil, but it ain't that bad yet.
Well, I think these cities I'm talking about have very liberal policies on homelessness, on we talk about them all the time, where you can just walk into a store at either of these cities, take fucking $1,000 worth of shit. Nobody's going to stop you. I know up in, Oregon's legalized everything. I've heard Portland's become quite awesome since that's happened. It's become like a haven for fucking junkies. Like, it's, all this shit's backfiring on them. They don't want to admit it.
Right.
Like, maybe you need a little bit of law and order. Ooh, the two dirty words.
Well, no, absolutely. And by the way, the people who fucking enact these policies, enforce these policies, and perpetuate these policies, they don't live this way. They don't live amongst the unwashed masses dealing with this shit. But you keep voting for them. So, okay. Because you saw on MTV one time that you had a voter die, and Puffy told you. So I vote.
And if you don't vote for the blue team, you're not one of the cool kids. I always forget that's the underlying message on that side of the aisle too. That's the cool kids.
I never forgot that.
That
dude.
Is the cool kids. Well, I mean, the general we.
I was the half-ass communist walking around fucking pointing out, like, okay, we all understand that rock the vote is completely fucking in the Democratic Party's pocket, right? And everybody goes, shut the fuck up, man. And I'm like, what? For pointing out, like, I wasn't even upset about it back then.
How come no Republicans are in those commercials? Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Ted Nugent, where are you at? I think the closest they got to a Republican was Dave Mustaine.
Right.
And this was post Hangar 18 Dave Mustaine. So
True, when he was moving out to Arizona.
yeah.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net. Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Anyways, we have anything else?
We have a tiny little blip of a Domino driver scolds a customer for choosing delivery.
I don't even understand this story.
It was just caught on a Ring camera.
No. I mean, well, go ahead and explain it.
Yeah, so on a Ring camera, someone opened the door to get their pizza, and the Domino's driver was like, "Do you not know we're like right there?" and like motioned to where they are because apparently it's a really short drive. And the person was like, "I don't think I should have to explain that to you. Like, they tipped. They were like, don't you get paid for this?" And yeah, that's pretty much how that went.
That's what I don't understand. If I'm the driver,
this is easy money, baby. I'm going right next door.
I'm gonna tell you what. I worked at one pizza place where you went out our back door, and we had an area to park, and there was about a 7-foot brick wall, and then there was a fucking residential street. And there was a customer whose house we could literally open the back door of the pizza place and see, and they would always order delivery. Delivery drivers would just hop the wall and walk it over there. And this old lady tipped and everything. Why would you complain about that? Why would, you know what I'm saying? Why would you even rock the boat? That's easy money.
Yeah. You getting paid for that run? Yeah, she tipped him.
And Domino's uses electric vehicles that are company vehicles now. So it's not like she was like, well, I'm having to use my gas to drive it across the street. No, the fuck you're not. I really don't understand why this person said anything besides, Chris, you nailed it. No one in this person's life ever told them, shut the fuck up. Your every thought doesn't need to be fucking imposed upon everybody else.
Yeah, it's this everyone's opinion is valid society, and it's this fucking too. I think it's a little bit of like how everyone always wants to settle everybody's hash. Like this kid, it's right there. Yeah, mother, you have a job because I asked you to fucking bring it here, dick. That's how this works. People order food, you bring it to them. Mm-hmm. It does not matter where the fucking. I want to smash this kid in the face.
The only thing I can think of is just, once again, this driver, it never went through her mind to be like, oh, I should probably just keep my mouth shut. There's probably some fucking reason this person did order and we're this close and delivery and they're this close to the shop. No big deal. Let's go on about my day. But it's almost like that fucking, like, I don't even know, like, I didn't even get the fucking feeling that person thought that, like, the driver thought they were being rude.
Yeah, the screenshot looks like it's one of them, definitely a younger person. She, either way, they're an idiot.
Maybe they thought they were just offering some helpful advice.
What if that lady was a hospice nurse? She couldn't leave because she's taking care of somebody who's dying.
Well, there's not even, it doesn't even have to be all that fucking dire of a situation. I have a buddy who's been doing remote work in the tech industry for well over 20 years now. I was about to say for 20 years until I actually stopped and fucking thought about it. And there'll be times when he's working where he has to be on like video calls or whatever because he's writing code and it's like real time. You have to get this done by this deadline and he can't leave. And if there's nothing to eat, he's ordering something. And he's the type of person where he makes enough money where if he wants something that's at the end of his street, he'll pay for it if he really wants it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, okay. And on top of that, Chris, you've delivered fucking food before. I would say, like, even the dumbest motherfucker, after 6 months of delivering food, you learn to pretty much, like, just accept deliveries for what they are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you get the fuck over your bullshit. You're going to come to the door. People are going to come to the door in various stages of undress. People are going to come to the door in various stages of drunk or high.
Yep.
Sometimes with a beer or bottle in their hand, sometimes with a blunt in their hand or their mouth. It's just the nature of the beast.
You're going to get under-tipped, you're going to get over-tipped, you're going to get no-tipped.
Yep.
It's just part of the deal.
Yeah, I understand the first maybe few times something weird happens, having kind of a fucking reaction. But like, it just blew me away because like this fucking driver's reaction was almost like a shrug and walk off at the end of it, and I'm like, you just basically threw your job in the trash, and you're not even trying to make a point. Like, you let a fucking random thought in your head ejaculate from your fucking cock holster and cost you your job, and for what reason?
Like, was this a failed joke?
That's what, like, I almost feel like, is this some sort of, like, Gen Z, like, layers of meta, you never admit you're joking, that's the joke? Like that Zoomer humor I keep hearing about, that I'm just like, yeah, that's called being an asshole. That's Andy Kaufman. That's called being an asshole to people. That's all it is.
Yeah.
So that might be possible.
You're not doing anything new.
Yeah, but their generation's doing it, and they're the generation that just came after the first generation to do everything in the history of ever, the millennials. So of course they think they're the fucking first generation to do this in the history of ever.
Those pioneers.
Yeah, but that's what it just leaves me shaking my head and going, are you allergic to money, bitch? That's what I want to ask that driver. Like, what is your fucking problem? You're not using your gas. You're getting a paycheck. She tipped you. You're getting your delivery fee. What?
Yeah, it's like,
do you need for them to,
go ahead.
I'm trying to think, like, do you want them to fucking like pay for your uniform to be dry cleaned?
Right. You need foot rub while you're at it? It's like, all I hear, what you just said, is just wins for the driver. Just 4 wins.
Well, depending on what they're making. But I mean, you know what I'm saying. But still, yeah. It's definitely better than app delivery, because I'm gonna tell you what, if they don't tip on an app delivery, you don't get paid. And that's what I expected to see. I honestly expected to click this video and it was someone making a delivery, not understanding that, you know, hey, no, you agreed to take it for this amount. If that person doesn't tip, you don't get more than that amount, stupid. That's how that works. But no, this was not that situation whatsoever. No. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, okay, Jess, for Chris and I, we're coming from it from the driver / co-worker of the driver's point of view. Mm-hmm. Maybe you have more of a customer point of view, but I mean, like, what would you think if a driver did that? I mean, like,
that was none of their damn business. If it was next door, it doesn't matter. I'm allowed to order whatever I want to order, and if I want to literally, like, if I want to order from the closest place to me, like, I could walk there if I wanted to. That's my business.
Yeah, if Domino's is across the street from me, it's America. I'm a free person. I can order it, sit on the porch, and fucking watch you guys make it, and then watch you get in your fucking car and bring it over to me, because I fucking can. Because America. But I can. But yeah, who gives a fuck?
What if I had a baby and they were napping? Am I supposed to leave them there to go pick up my pizza?
Let me tell you something. Genius.
Let me tell you something. That is quite a common situation in especially the app delivery, because you will see the note and it will be like in capital letters, all caps.
Do not
knock or ring. Child sleeping. Dogs will go nuts.
That's literally, if I were to open up my Instacart, that is still put in there. That is still put in there from when my youngest was a baby. And it is, like you said, all caps. Please, please, please do not knock. My dogs will go crazy and the baby is sleeping.
And here's the difference between someone who's an idiot and someone who's good at their job, or someone who just pays attention and actually cares about getting shit right. I can't count how many times people come to the door and would just be like, oh, so grateful, just, oh, thank you for not knocking, or texting me when you got here, or whatever. And I'm like, you put it pretty plainly, you put it in your description of how you wanted your order delivered. I don't see how I could have messed that up. And they're like, oh, other drivers do all the time. And I'm like, yeah, but they're retarded. I'm not. So
of all the times that I ordered, I would say it was over 50% of the time that they still knocked. Mm-hmm. And my dogs went nuts. And my baby woke up.
I put on my Karen hat the other day. I told Grubhub I do not want this driver anymore. He's not allowed to deliver my food. It's the same motherfucker who dropped my shit off at the fucking entrance to our complex, because he couldn't find our fucking thing. I have detailed directions on my account of our building number, of what driveway to turn in, of what entrance to use. And so many of these people just like, I don't know. One lady, I've bitched about this before. You got to tell Grubhub because their GPS told me to put it. She put it on the other side of the building. Not again. This is when I was complaining about. Hey, remember the game Memory that you played when you were 5? About hey, this matches this. Like all she had to do was walk around in the other building. Like hey, that number matches this number. That's where this goes. Like I don't understand it, man. Like and even now. With Grubhub, I will then send because I can message the driver on these apps. I will send a text with the same directions in my fucking account. And still, like, it's like 50-50 if I gotta, like, open the app and be like, oh, this person's just driving around the complex.
Yep.
I have no defense. As someone who has an embarrassing amount of experience in food delivery and food service, I know they're out there. I've dealt with them. And I'm just like, I shudder to think what these fucking people go on to do for a career. I really do. Because it's like, wow, you can't get this right? Hope you're not in charge of anyone's life or safety.
Yeah, no, usually I'm like, all right, how many fucking kids you have? 6? I really feel it's like the beginning of the Idiocracy. Like the one dumbass fucking just, had 12 kids and the smart people ended up dying before they had children. He's getting the groin surgery. Get your hands off my junk.
Well, I mean, it's not just the customers, or excuse me, the employees. It's the customers too.
Oh, buddy.
I mean,
oh yes, we can have this conversation too.
I'm thinking of the so fucking classic example I always pull out when people are like, what's it like working in pizza? And I'm like, okay. And I tell them about this customer who called up and ordered probably about $35 worth of food for pickup. And then called back 40 minutes later and said, no. I don't want that food for pickup. I want it for delivery. And I want it fresh. So because I worked for Idiots at the time, they remade this person's food and sent it out. Quoted this person the new price with the delivery fee and everything. This person threw a shit fit because why does it cost more? Guys, we're all well into... Well, no, sorry. One of us is eternally 29. The rest of us are well past the age where we should understand there's going to be a delivery fee for any fucking food, right?
Right.
Oh, I mean, that's been around since I was in middle school.
That's what I'm saying.
Like free delivery is long gone.
And this person wasn't old enough to have grown up in a time with free delivery. And then going to throw a shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't tell me. Like, here's the deal. You're either lying because you're trying to scam us. In that case, fuck you. Or you are literally too stupid to procreate, yet you, like you said, Chris, you probably got 6 of them running around behind you.
Trust me, I have sympathy for the people who are behind the counters at the restaurants because it's like, every time I run into a disgruntled person or somebody I'm with will complain about them. I'm like, yeah, they're kind of a dick, but it's like, have you waited on these motherfuckers? Like, holy shit. Like, especially, I'm glad, people were nuts during COVID, dude. Like, people would just yell at you and shit. You expect you to sit there and take it. Like, that's now, like, I now see, like, McDonald's has them now. Pretty much the signs that say, hey, I'm paraphrasing, hey, you're not allowed to be a dick to our people and we can throw you out if you are. Like, it's to the point where fast food restaurants got to put up a sign that says, hey, be nice to the help. Like, come on, man. Like, that should be like a check your fucking head moment as a society.
Yeah, I mean, all this fucking, let's validate all of these children's feelings and thoughts and everyone is, no one is better and no one's in a position of this and this and this. All this bullshit. It's funny, all this fucking equity and equality and all this horse shit we've been hearing and they pushed at least our entire lives. And what is the end result that's produced as far as society goes? A society where we literally have to put up a sign saying, don't fuck with the people who handle your food, you stupid cocksucker.
Yep.
I'm sorry. Like, at a certain point, ideology cannot trump results. It just can't. Like this, oh, always be nice, always fucking, all this bullshit. Never hurt anyone's feelings. The end result is we are more fucking mean than we have ever been.
Yeah. We have to put up a sign that says, don't scream at the 16-year-old who's just trying to fucking help you pay for your hamburgers.
Now, as a consequence, I will say this. The people who have always had patience, they really show their appreciation for, like people who are obviously doing their best effort, but they might still be coming up a little short for whatever reason. And believe it or not, it's usually because there's such high turnover. These people are just being trained. It's not because people are stupid or dumb or retarded. It's because it's a fucking Mick job, and a lot of fucking kids don't want to work a Mick job. They like the idea of a job and a paycheck until the reality of going to work every day sets in. Chris knows what I'm talking about. He's been a manager and trained these fuckers.
Yes.
But
so many.
And it really feels like the common thread is it's this assumption that everybody's doing anything that's an inconvenience to you on purpose. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. Like it's a young people thing, right? Because young people think everybody gives a fuck about them. No, nobody gives a fuck about you. No one's doing this to you on purpose. No one woke up today, man, I'm going to fuck this person's day up. I'm going to do this to... No. Shit just happens to you and you deal with it.
Now, you want to guarantee that people are going to single you out and treat you like shit? Walk in and start accusing people of singling you out and treating you like shit when it's not happening. That's a problem that people don't understand. Like, I've had this conversation with customers who I am openly and visibly showing nothing but contempt and fucking hatred for. And I've looked at them and said, I've wasted X amount of time sitting here arguing with you. Let me explain something to you since you don't seem to understand it. Okay? I don't want you in my store. So I'm trying to give you whatever it will take to get you out as quick as possible. You're the one standing here prolonging the argument. That's the problem that most people don't understand when they're not on that side of the counter.
Yeah.
We just want to get you the fuck out, dude. We don't care. You're mad? Here's a cake. Be super mad. Just go be it outside my fucking restaurant. That's all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, whatever it takes. Here.
It's not personal. It's literally get the fuck out. That's it. That's it. It's not get the fuck out, darky. Get the fuck out, non-white person. Get the fuck out, non-binary person. It ain't on. It's just please get the fuck out. We don't want to deal with you anymore. Here's your food. Jesus Christ, we'll even give you a discount. We'll give it to you. Just go.
The other day, I shit you not, I witnessed a complaint of this wasn't that good, and she was trying to get free food, and she got all loud and then just left because people were like, well, we're sorry, we're trying to figure out what was wrong with her food, and it was just like, this wasn't that good, and was getting all loud, trying to get free shit, and when she realized she wouldn't get free shit, she just left. And I was like, man, this is what bothers me about people. Because, like, as the manager, right, you're just like, what was wrong? Like, and that's what used to bother me. Like, that's someone just trying to get shit. Because, was it burned? Was there not enough this? Was there not enough that? What was wrong? Did you expect that, like, yeah, can I remake it for you? But no, this wasn't that good. That's just someone being a piece of shit trying to get free food.
Yeah.
This is, I'm sorry, go ahead, Jess.
No, I was agreeing. That was it.
I don't know if this is, I don't know if I'm just noticing it more post-COVID or if it really is a new tactic that people are trying more and more post-COVID. But it's usually like ghetto and white trash who, well, you did this and you did that. And yeah, okay, so how can we make this right? Well, I want all my food for free. Well, you're not getting all your food for free. Especially when it's like, okay, well, then if you want to exchange the food, you need to bring us the food that we gave you. Well, we already ate it. What do you expect us to do about it?
Yeah, this lady was in the restaurant. Yeah, already ate it. It wasn't that good. Like, good enough for you to finish it.
And then the other thing that they either add on to this or they incorporate in, or this is just a tactic they do it whenever they don't get their way. Well, you're ruining my children's dinner, to which I am so tempted, but I need a paycheck to be like, it ain't my fucking job to make sure your goddamn cum goblin is fucking happy. What the fuck? Why? What the fuck does that have to do with me? I stubbed my toe when I woke up this morning. There. That's pertinent to your life as what the fuck is going on and how good of a fucking dinner your child is having to me.
What do your children have to do with anything with the transaction between you and me?
And it's especially fucking hilarious when it's over not the quality of the food, but the price of the food. Excuse me? Your children paying for it? I highly doubt that. So how is this ruining? Because they're eating. I'm watching them. By the way, thank you for letting your crotch goblins eat out of the fucking boxes in the lobby. We appreciate that, and we'll enjoy cleaning that up. Thank you.
Yeah.
But, you know, you've ruined my children's dinner and their night. Really? I think their appetites are perfectly fine. I think they're going to be okay.
Yes, and thank you for leaving a pile of trash next to the trash can. Appreciate that. It's like, I know the situation without even being in it, Rich.
I mean, I get it. I understand if you know, people fucking, they get a gut full and they do shit. Hey, man, I've slammed down some phones at the end of a fucking taking an order really hard a few times myself, right? I'm sure that people on the other end were like, wow, that was an enthusiastic hang up. Sure, we'll go with that. You know, but like, there's just a level of Jesus fucking Christ. Like, there used to be just a bare minimum that we could expect to deal with on either side of the counter, and it seems like that bar, fuck lowering it, it's been completely removed.
How? I just got to get this out there because it was a gripe a couple years ago, and it's a related topic. How in this day and age are there still people that call up and don't know what the fuck they want? You have access to the entire menu in your hand, in the thing you're calling me on. You could have looked up the entire menu and figured out what you wanted. There are still people, I still blew my mind. In 2021, people call, what you got? What do you have? I don't know what I want. Yeah, let me look at the menu. Like, it just blew my mind. Sorry. I just wanted to get that out there.
Yeah, I'm one of those people that'll look up at, like, if I'm going out just to go sit out and eat, I show up knowing what I'm going to order.
Yeah, if I've never been there and I'm going with people who, like, you know, oh yeah, you gotta try this place. All right, well, here's the deal. I don't want to be the one motherfucker who's holding everybody up when everybody else is ready to order and eat. So I'm probably gonna take a look at the menu and find the safest fucking option to try at a new place and have it ready to go when they fucking get, you know, round to, and what would you like, sir? I mean, that just, but see, once again, is this because for whatever reason we were taught to take, like, is this because we're taking in other people's feelings and time into consideration and it's not just all about us? Or, you know, is it some other reason we're doing this?
I think we're just disgruntled service industry employees.
Well, no. I mean, is that it? Is that the reason? Like, because we've all fucking worked in the food service industry, it's like, fuck it, we know how much of a pain in the ass it is. We try to limit how much of a pain in the ass of a customer we can be.
Oh, I make sure I smile at people. I try to order through if I'm ordering anything custom, I'll order it through the app so I don't have to go through oh my God. When I was married to a vegetarian, going to McDonald's and saying I would like a cheeseburger with everything on it, minus the meat. The looks I would get, like, what? Can you do that? I gotta go get my manager. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, anything custom ordered, I'll order it through an app. So that way, you know, like, I try to not even notice I was there and make sure I was pleasant the whole time.
See, well, I mean, I'm pleasant to talk to, but I look like I'd cut your throat just as soon as talk to you. But that's just because I don't put on a fake bullshit smile for anybody. Ain't nobody special enough for me to lie to myself. Sorry. That's just how I look at that shit. But I mean, like, I'm with you because it's like, yeah, I understand. I don't know. I think it's a certain type of person who thinks, let me get my shit in order. That way I'm not holding everybody up. And then there's another type of people who just, I don't give a fuck. Whatever. It's all about me anyways.
Or the people who would just stare up at the menu. And I'd be like, dude, there's people behind you, fuckface. Just want to say that to them. Like, this is not a 10-minute ordeal. We've had the same things for 20 fucking years. Pick what you fucking want.
There's an old Sinbad fucking routine where, and this was back in the day at McDonald's, you might have to be of a certain age and older to get this joke. But he's like, I don't understand people that go into McDonald's and got to look at the menu Especially the ones that are like, I'll have, and then they look from one side to the other because it's the same fucking menu on both sides. This is back when McDonald's had the same menu on both sides, literally. So it's like, what are you looking between the two exact identical menus? What are you doing?
Yeah.
But that's true. People have done that all my life.
And he said, and I know the routine. And it's McDonald's. He said, they've had the same thing the whole time.
Yes. There's 2 white people on this entire planet who know that Sinbad routine from like a 1991 HBO special, and it just so happens we're on the same podcast together.
I remember he said, the guy looking up at the menu like, scratching his head. Yeah. They got burgers and French fries. Pick one.
Oh, great.
Well, I think that's a good note to go out on.
When was the last time a podcast not featuring Sinbad as a guest went out talking about Sinbad?
When's the last time a podcast with 3 white people brought up Sinbad that wasn't like a Different World rewatch podcast?
They have those with white people?
Probably. Well, no, that's right. Yeah, rewatch, you got to have people on the show. I bet you the guy who played Dwayne Wayne, I bet you... Wait,
Marissa Tomei is probably busy.
Or
I'm just saying.
What if Sinbad is on the Different World?
I forgot he was on a Different World. That's where he got his start.
He was the fucking gym teacher or some shit. Different. Nope, there is no A Different World. So cool. We are the only 3 white people to bring up Sinbad on a podcast. Pretty sure.
Yeah.
Sinbad was in an episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia with Rob Thomas, where he played an unhinged version of himself in a mental institution, and Rob Thomas was his mental institution prison bitch. I'm sure there's been a podcast with white people on it talking about that episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
No, that's fair.
I'm just throwing that out there.
Rob Thomas is definitely a conduit to white people.
Yes, exactly. Like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia is pretty white too, but Rob Thomas, that's the whitest. Like that's whitest whites. Yeah.
And speaking of conduits to white people, follow us on social media at Gen Exhausted Pod. Just whatever mode you use, I don't even know. And Meta keeps threatening. They threaten the network. They threaten the other podcast because misinformation and copyrighted material and whatever. But whatever platforms we're left on, at Gen Exhausted Pod, ChristopherMedia.net is where the PayPal button is if you'd like to help us out with some commerce. And wherever you listen to the show, if you got the ability to rate and review us, we appreciate it because it helps other people find the show, because that's how things work now. I appreciate you listening, and we will catch you next week.
All right, later, guys.
See ya.
I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay, so I can sit out here and waste my life away, drag back home and drown my troubles away. It's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is living in the new world with an whole soul. These rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control. Wanna know what you think, wanna know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do, 'cause your dollar ain't shit and it's taxed to no end. 'Cause the rich men, 'cause the rich men. I wish politicians would look out for minors, and not just minors on an island somewhere. Lord, we got folks in the street, ain't got nothing to eat, and the obese milking welfare. God, if you're 5'3" and you're 300 pounds, taxes ought not to pay for your bags of fudge rounds. Young men are putting themselves 6 feet in the ground, 'cause all this damn country country does is keep on kicking them down. Lord, it's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is living in the new world with an whole soul. These rich men know the rich men, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control. Wanna know what you think, wanna know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do. 'Cause your dollar ain't shit, and it's taxed to no end, 'cause the rich men know the rich men. I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.